morning. Welcome to the Focus Daily Show. Here on Focus Daily Show, we speak about biblical prophecy and how it applies to America, and how the Afro-Americans are indeed the children of God, and how this land of America is the kingdom of God. We're going to kind of conclude our discussion of the money changers with Paul M. Warburg, one of the last major people that was involved with the Jekyll Island experiment, in which they sought to create a new form of economic currency, currently known as fiat, where they plotted and planning to create a system of registration and reclassification in order to crucify us as Afro-Americans and resurrect themselves into our position as the leaders of this land. We're going to go into a short film today. Excuse me for my stuttered speech at the moment, but yeah, get to it.
The modern banking system is a result of some of the great investment bankers. These people changed the way banking used to be. We will talk to you about 5.
This modern banking system is indeed the beast system, the fiat system, created by the evil one himself through the hands of the guys we've been recently speaking of. The true currency system should be gold and silver based, as the Bible speaks of. God said God and silver is his, and God and silver would ensure peace throughout the land. But in come these guys, the money changers, and placed us into a new system of bondsmen and bondswomen and debt slavery. So,
Such families have been the biggest bankers of the world and are responsible for how the world of finance developed. The Rothschild, started in 1760. Rothschild Investment Trust had reported assets of $3.4 billion in 2000.
These are all key players, and if you do a little bit of research, these same families control most of the corporate entities throughout the world today, AT&T, and corporate entities of that nature.
2008. Today, the Rothschilds themselves aren't as involved in finance, but they still own the highly respected British investment bank that carries their name. 2. Junius and J.P. Morgan, started in 1813. The parent company of J.P. Morgan Asset Management is a leading global asset management firm with assets.
These families are all on the chopping block, That's why it's important that I introduce them so that people can become aware of the key players in creating this system of bondmen and bondwomen.
Assets of approximately $2.1 trillion in operations in more than 60 countries. Today, it bears the name.
Most of that money that they claim belongs to them is actually ours, the children of God, that was set up in the trust to eventually get released to us. But due to the Cesta QV trust, we're considered lost at sea and dead, and they claim they have no one to give it to. And also, according to the Cesta QV trust, a kinsman must come and claim us in order for us to receive our freedom from slavery and eventually our reparations. And that kinsman is Christ, the Son of God.
Name of his son, John Pierpont, who has been credited with averting a massive financial crisis in 1907. 3. The Warburgs, started in 1868. The Warburgs were one of the most prolific banking families of all time. One of its most prominent members was Paul M. Warburg. After serving as a director of Wells Fargo, he was appointed to the Federal Reserve Board in 19.
There you go, Paul M. Warburg, a major player in this beast fiat system.
14. 4. Amedeo Giannini, started in 1870. He was an Italian-American banker who founded the Bank of Italy, which became Bank of America. Giannini is the way banking used to be. It bears the name of his son.
When they mention these additional names, they wasn't key players in the Jekyll Island situation, but yet and still, there are also key players in the money changing event.
John Pierpont, who has been credited with averting a massive financial crisis in 1907. 3. The Warburgs, started in 1868. The Warburgs were one of the most prolific banking families of all time. One of its most prominent members was Paul M. Warburg. After serving as a director of Wells Fargo, he was appointed to the Federal Reserve Board in 1914. 4. Amedeo Giannini, started in 1870. He was an Italian-American banker who founded the Bank of Italy, which became Bank of America. Giannini is credited as the inventor of many modern banking practices. Giannini was one of the first bankers to offer banking services to middle-class Americans, rather than only the upper class.
And that was their ultimate plan, to bring banking to the general public and get everybody entrapped within the bond man, bond woman situation.
5. David Rockefeller, started in early 1700s. At the time of his death, Forbes estimated Rockefeller's net worth was $3.3 billion. He was an American banker who served as chairman and chief executive of Chase Manhattan Corporation. He was noted for his wide-ranging political connections and foreign travel, in which he met with many foreign leaders.
So that's it for today. We had a real short show today. Once again, the point was to introduce these key members in the money changing fiasco. Hit that like button, support the channel, hashtag Focus Daily TV, and of course, subscribe. We out.